Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into Echoes of the End.
That's the new cinematic action adventure from Merkur Games, the Icelandic developer.
Exactly. It just launched, and honestly, it's generating a lot of chatter online, but it really feels like a game of two halves, you know?
Mm-hmm. One part seems absolutely breathtaking, but then there's this other side that sounds, well, surprisingly frustrating for some players.
Yeah, so our mission today is really to unpack that split. We've looked at a bunch of reviews, different critical sources.
Right, trying to piece together what makes Echoes stand out, maybe where it stumbles a bit, and ultimately help you decide if it's worth your time.
Okay, let's get into the numbers first. The aggregate scores. It's sitting at a 71 on Metacritic.
And a 66 on OpenCritic.
Right. So both firmly landed in that mixed or average category, which, let's be honest, in today's market.
Yeah, good, not great. Can sometimes mean a game just gets lost in the shuffle, even if it does some things really well.
Totally. But what's interesting is the range within those reviews. It's not just lukewarm across the board.
Not at all. You've got places like Gaming Trend giving it an 8.5 out of 10. They called it, and I quote, one of 2025's best surprises.
Wow. Okay. 8.5 is pretty high praise. What did they like specifically?
They highlighted a whole list. Gorgeous visuals, a great story, fascinating lore, engaging combat, smart puzzles, and excellent traversal mechanics. Sounds pretty great, right?
It does. So if some critics are saying that, what's pulling the average score down then? This is where that sort of Jekyll and Hyde thing comes in, I guess.
Exactly. You see other reviewers like Game Reactor or The Games Machine, they liked the ambition, the presentation, but they pointed out it was, quote, hampered by technical issues.
Ah, okay. Technical issues like what?
Things like stuttering gameplay, just general technical flaws, performance hiccups.
Right, and DualShockers, they were even less forgiving, weren't they?
Yeah, they landed at a 6.5, calling it serviceable but ultimately underwhelming. They liked the puzzles.
Okay.
But they really disliked what they called shoddy combat and platforming. So quite a contrast to Gaming Trend's engaging combat.
Okay. So that really leads us into the specific gameplay elements, doesn't it? Let's break those down. Puzzles seem to be a safe bet.
Yeah, pretty much everyone agrees on the puzzles. Well made, good variety. Apparently they get more interesting as you go, so definite strength there.
Good. And the visuals, you mentioned gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely stunning. That seems universal. It's built in Unreal Engine 5.
Right, UE5, top tier stuff.
And they used photogrammetry, scanning real Icelandic landscapes. So the detail is apparently incredible.
So it's one of those games you just want to stop and stare at. Take screenshots constantly.
Pretty much, yeah. The visual fidelity sounds like a real triumph.
Okay, but that brings us back to the combat. If the visuals are that good, how bad can the combat be? Or maybe bad isn't the right word. Divisive.
Divisive is definitely the word. Like we saw, some found it engaging, fast-paced even. But others, well, they use words like basic, shoddy. They mentioned janky animations, clunky movements.
Right, where things just don't look smooth.
And inconsistent hitboxes. That's a killer, where you feel like you hit something, but the game doesn't register it.
Oof, yeah. Inconsistent hitboxes are super frustrating. So for an action-adventure game, combat feeling shoddy or basic, that sounds like a pretty big deal, doesn't it?
It's a significant hurdle for a lot of players, for sure. How much can amazing visuals make up for core gameplay feeling off? That's the question.
Yeah. What about the story and characters? Is that another strength?
It's more passable, it seems. Generally, okay. People seem to like the main character, Rain's development. She goes from this sort of distrustful warrior to something more relatable.
Okay. Character growth is good.
But there were also comments about her being unlikable sometimes, and some mentions of inconsistent voice acting for the supporting cast.
Ah, okay. So a bit of a mixed bag on the narrative front too then. It sounds like Merkur really nailed the visuals.
Definitely.
But maybe fumbled a bit on the technical polish and getting that combat feeling consistently good.
That seems to be the consensus, yeah. So putting it all together, Echoes of the End sounds like a game with real ambition, real potential, but it's held back, at least at launch, by these technical rough edges and that really inconsistent combat experience.
So who is this game actually for then? If you're listening, should you pick it up?
Well, it seems best suited for players who really value that stunning world, maybe a decent story, and good puzzles.
And crucially, players who are maybe willing to overlook those initial performance problems or combat issues?
Exactly. Or perhaps players who are hopeful that patches will come along and iron out those kinks later.
Which brings up a really interesting point, doesn't it? In this age of day one patches and games evolving over time,
Yeah.
How much should we let a game's launch state define its overall impression? It's something to think about for sure as you decide whether this particular deep dive is one you want to take yourself.